Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am not Pastor Troy. I am Connie Jenkins, but we do actually have a surprise for y'all. So I know that if you've been on our social media, you've seen that Pastor Pauline is joining us today. She is actually in-house with us in studio. And of course, we have the beautiful Rebecca here with us as well. But Pastor Troy will be joining us with a group of folks from his Uganda trip. So we are so blessed. I just want to remind everyone, that if you aren't yet, please like, follow, and share. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. But please help us to get the word out. Please be a media missionary. Just share with your friends. Just let people know what the Lord is doing, because I love that we talk about what we're doing here at Open Door Church, but we also get to talk about and share about what we're doing all over the world, like today with Pastor Troy joining us from Uganda. Okay, I'm going to take care of a couple of in-house things and remind everyone that Pastor Troy was just on TBN. I think it was about 2 weeks ago, maybe, and he was just on Daystar's Heart for the World. Those things will be uploaded onto ODX. If you are a part of ODX, thank you so much for partnering with us. And you know that you can go in, you can even use the search bar, search TBN, search TBN, search Daystar, and you'll be able to catch up with those things that Pastor Troy gets to go and do out of house. He was also recently at Darren Stott's, It's Demonstration and Declaration Conference up in Seattle. That's at Eden Church, Newcastle. And it was so good. He was there with Bobby Connor, and I think his name is Daniel Adams. They did such an incredible job. If you haven't seen that yet, please, we make those things available to y'all on ODX just as a way to say, hey, thank you so much for joining with the vision of this house and joining with what we're doing. So please remember, if you are a part of ODX, go on there. You'll see all things Troy Brewer. And if you're not a part of ODX, it's super simple to sign up. All you do is go to odx.tv and you can see the different tiers that we have. And then you can see what is offered with each tier. Okay, so before we get started, I want to ask Pastor Pauline and Rebecca, how are y'all doing?
We're doing good, or I'm doing good. I can't speak for you.
I'm doing good.
But you look good.
We saw each other this morning, and we hugged each other, and we're doing good.
Yes, we're good.
That's always fun getting to work on staff with such incredible people.
It is.
I know. It's just getting better.
It's really fun. Okay, so I can't think of anything else that I need to let y'all know about other than, hey, Pastor Troy is going to be joining us, and I think that they are ready to jump on live with us right now. Hey, Pastor, can you hear us?
Okay, so can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir, we hear you.
We can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Well, guys, let's give it up for King Jesus. Come on, guys. I'm in a whole room full of people. Welcome, ODX. Call you guys blessed. And you know what? We're actually not going to go behind the veil today. I'm just going to have a talk with y'all. I'm in a room full of people. We're going to try and hook up a camera, and I'm going to actually show y'all what this room looks like, because what I wanted to do was I just wanted to be able to go, hey, I want to tell y'all some of the cool things that we're doing and let you guys catch up with us while we're down here. I'm sitting with a room full of people, guys. We're in Kanjojo Village near Fort Portal in Uganda, East Africa, and we're high on top of a mountain. I'm not making that up, am I? We're like literally on top of a mountain. One of the cool things, me and Daryl was talking about this earlier, there's lights around here, and about the lights, electricity is brand new to this area. And in some of the places we're working in Uganda, there's still not electricity. It's like Itasca. But whenever we were first up here years and years ago, man, there was nothing but campfires at night. When you looked out, all you could see was all these campfires of all these people. And it's like, wow, look at all those people that live out there in these jungles. And you see all their fires, just absolutely amazing. So, guys, it's just been we've been here. My team has been here, I think 4 days now. I think, is that right? Today's the fourth day, and then there's another team. Leanna's team has been here for like 9 days now, or something, some crazy thing, right? 8 or 9 days, or 10 days, or something. You guys have been here 10 days. And guys, I'm here with, I wish that y'all could see who I'm talking to. I mean, I know your families are watching, but there's just a group of world changers that is here. And wow, here we are. And honestly, guys, it's hard to believe that we can go live and actually be connected with you guys. You guys are in a studio in Crowley, Texas, and here we are in Uganda, and it's like it is a wow. So, Pastor Pauline, are you still there?
I'm here. I can see your pretty face, Pastor Troy.
Right on, man.
It is really cool
Can you?
that we can. Yes, it's really cool that we can talk to you.
I probably
right
got some chicken wings. I probably got some daggum chicken wings in my teeth right now. We just now got through eating.
You do.
And then,
Second one to the left.
then on the way up to the top of this mountain where this Wi-Fi is, our vehicles got stuck. There's a guy that is with us. He's like literally one of my sons. His name is George, and George is good at everything except for driving up the sides of mountains. He's no good at that.
Oh dear.
And so he had to make, he didn't grow up in Texas. So he's like, wow. But anyway, we did get it. And so the rest of us were behind him, and we were not able to, of course, go around him because there's a big cliff on the side and all this. Anyway, man, we made it up here. And so we made it up here just in time. And then I thought also Ben was doing this big, massive, I thought everything was going to be in perfect order by the time I got here. 2 cameras were going to be set up. Our sound was going to be set up. This was going to be set up. We were going to have multiple run-throughs with you guys, and none of that happened as well because of a password change or some kind of confusion between our side and your side over there. So actually, guys, we didn't get it. We didn't get any of this going until just a second ago. So we're up here. So anybody have any idea what we're supposed to be doing or what the model is here today? I think everybody will just rely on me and say, no, man, you've got this. And I do got this. So one of the things, so Ben, I don't know if you want to do a tighter shot or something, because I don't think you can even see this. Yeah. So I can actually see that Debbie Smith is on here, and Ella is here, and Sarah is here, and Cheryl Loma is here from Michigan. So good to see you guys. And guys, I'm only seeing the ODX side. I'm not seeing YouTube or Facebook or X or any of those things. So if you guys will, go ahead and chime in, write in, tell us where it is that you're from, and we greatly appreciate it. Was somebody on the other side about to say something?
Yes, we have Debbie Robinson, Janine Franklin, all on Facebook.
And where do they say that they're from?
Texas.
Hello?
Texas.
Okay.
Saying how much
that's
they
excellent.
love you.
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
Wyoming.
Listen, so let's do this. Oh, right on. All right on. So guys, do what? So Patrick, come over here and have a seat over here, sir. Would you come over here, sir? Thank you so much. All right on. Yeah. Well, it's good to have you, man. Thank you, man, for having us here at your place. Right on. Thank you for welcoming us here to Uganda. You just got through feeding us. Peace is right over there. And Peace is a lot better looking than you, sir. Although, wait, you do have some good looking legs. I will give you that. I hope I don't die tonight. If that's the last thing I see before I die, I might not make it to heaven. So I took off my shorts because my legs are so neon white right now. I heard all of your support staff talking bad about me a while ago. I actually walked past them and said, are you guys going to talk about how white my legs are? And they said, yes, probably. That's what they said. I said, no, it's okay. Well, man, so you and I have been together here for almost 30 years. We've been doing this now for almost 30 years. And it's funny, I have a lot of people. There was a young man that welcomed me today. He's a pastor in Kampala. And he said, I want to welcome you here to my country, and thank you for coming. He was very gracious. And I said, how old are you? And he said, I'm 26. And I said, I've been here longer than you have. That was what I told him, which is absolutely true. So anyway, man, we've seen the progress today, and here the past few days, we've seen the progress here with our babies. And my God, they're getting so big, Patrick. So I'm going to talk to you, then I'm going to hand you the microphone, okay? Because we only have one, okay? So, and I'm sorry about that, but let me just kind of go through this. There was a baby that I met today, and I don't know how they're labeled, and I don't know, because we didn't get to do a run through, I'm not sure what's happening. So, but there was a baby that we visited today that was there, and this little baby is the latest baby that we pulled out of a latrine pit, and it's a miracle she is alive, because she was found in a latrine pit after being there for a long time, and she had some injuries on her fall down into the latrine pit, and so her body was open in several different places. And once we got down into the latrine pit and pulled this 1 day, 2 day baby out of this horrible septic tank, then of course you can just imagine, the infection that sets in and those kinds of things. I can tell you, I saw her today, and she's a healthy, beautiful little girl.
It is always a miracle seeing these stories come out, and you see the baby, the way she looks like today. Actually, what we got to learn is that probably the baby was thrown in the septic tank a few minutes after being born, and stayed there for a little longer until somebody was passing by and had a new baby cry. And that's when the whole pandemonium started. Now, that could have been many hours after that, because when we got the baby, the state that the baby was found in is too graphic to try and share, because there was a lot of things that you could imagine if somebody was immersed of that weight in a situation like that. And so it is a miracle that she survived the injury, she survived the fall, she survived being soaked in that environment for perhaps a number of hours, and then somebody had to do some ninja stuff and get down there and pick for Jesus.
Amen.
That to me is one of the coolest things ever. I like, who is it among us that has the job that goes down into these latrine pits and pull these babies out? Because that's a big deal. I mean, these latrine pits are like deep, They're like how many feet deep are there? Yeah, so 50 feet down. So I remember, man, when back in the early 2000s, there was a kid that fell down a well in West Texas. You guys remember that? And the whole world was, baby Jessica fell down the dadgum fracking well and went all the way down. It's like, how in the world are we going to get her? That's like literally a thing here, that when a mama dies in childbirth and if the family is not godly, then what they will do is they'll take the child and they will kill the child or lay the child somewhere for him just to die. Or it's convenient that there's already a 50-foot hole dug that the entire village uses with a toilet over the top of it, and they take these babies and throw them down. So we have many, many, many children that we have literally gone down into that pit and pulled them out. And today we saw a bunch of those kids. It's remarkable to see those kids, isn't it? And she was healthy and she's beautiful and she's still a baby. Yeah. How old is she now? You think maybe?
She's about 7 months.
Yeah, probably 7 months. Yep. And then we also saw baby Gloria that we named after Pastor Gloria. And she was one as well that we pulled out of a latrine pit, or we would say at home, a septic tank, and just literally pulled her out. And she was in bad shape as well. And this contaminated environment that these children are thrown in, it's a miracle that they survive it because of the infections and all those kinds of things, plus the fall. So, you drop a baby 50 feet. It is.
That just surviving the fall is miracle number one, because I believe whoever does that, the expectation is that they die on contact.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that the baby is still alive after the fall is a miracle.
Well, that's, out of all the ministries I ever thought I'd be a part of, pulling babies out of latrine pits was not one of them. And it's like, I had no idea. I had no idea. And it's like a big part of our life. It's a big part of the reality here. So one of the things that Leanna was telling me about that I was so excited about, and by the way, man, Barrett is with me, y'all. Barrett is with me. Hey man, can you put old Barrett on there for just a second so you guys can see? This is Richard's very first missions trip to Africa. There you go. Outstanding. Right on.
He's so cute.
All right, man, you can sit down. Thank you very much. So, anyway, man, but we today, what I learned is that, like, I think that we have, how many babies do we have here, Peace? To have 76 rescued babies here at this one place. And that's not all the kids. That's not all the other stuff, just the rescue babies that's here on this place. And the frequency of phone calls that we are getting is going way down because of the works that we're doing. And it's incredible. One of the things that's happening is there's less girls that are actually dying in the jungle because of some of the projects that we've set up and some of the things that we've done, where we've had a doctor come in and give these birthing kits that are in the actual villages, and also too an awareness of what happens and how to call, and this is what you do and this is how you do it. And those kinds of resources were not offered before. And so the number of kids we're having to rescue is literally going down. And that's a miracle. That's what we want to happen. And then another miracle that is happening is our kids that are here are so healthy that the local hospital that we work with was concerned that perhaps we were going to some other hospital because we never take kids to the hospital anymore.
Wow.
And it's like,
It's awesome.
it's remarkable. It's truly, truly, truly remarkable. So I am dumbfounded by the whole thing. I truly am. And so there's several of you guys, it's your first time to be here. I know it's your first time to be here, right? If it's your first time to be here and you're going to raise your hand. Wow, there's a bunch of y'all. Right on. Okay, well, right on. Well, welcome. Yeah, you guys are so welcome. Right on. Pastor Marty is here. And Pastor Marty pastors a church in Alvarado. He's been a friend of mine for I don't know how long. What is the name of your church, man? Grace Point Church. Right on. And so 20 plus kids. He even worked at the school that my kids were in. And you actually worked there. And I can't remember, were you a coach or you were the youth pastor there? Well, I was about to explain why my kids didn't turn out to be athletes. So it's probably my fault. That's amazing. Well, right on. So you were the youth pastor there. And so I guess that you're the one that would invite me in then to preach there. I didn't know who signed me up for that gig. Yep, exactly right. Brought the worship team. We did all that. So it's your very first trip here, man. And I'm going to let you say something. You can just sit right there if you want to. So what is your experience? Oh, man, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Well, man, this is an incredible experience. You know, we got in a couple of days ago. We got to spend a whole day in another area that you guys have built the school, Kampala. Is that right? Kampala, and yeah, that place. And so, and just met Pastor David, a guy that you've known that you met in London, which is amazing, and invited you to come and be a part of the ministries that he's involved in, and listening to him, I got very emotional listening to what he was talking about. He goes, man, we're just trusting God, and I just said, Pastor David, when you trust God, God does amazing things, and it's an incredible lesson. I know for me, it's just like, man, maybe I should trust God a little more. But I've just been impressed with what has happened here, what God's doing through you all, and so it's been a huge blessing to be here.
I know that you had some kind of idea what we did, right? And because you've been hearing it for 20 years, we've been talking about it. But when you came here and when you saw it, what would people see if they came here and they saw our schools, our rescue facilities, our babies' homes? How we, I know that one of the things that you guys went and saw today is that there's a lot of kids that go to our school, and when we visit their house, we just go, they got to have a new house. And you actually went and visited some of the houses that we built for kids. Like, no, they're not even on our property. They're not. They needed a house, so we built them. What would people see that would blow their minds whenever they come here and they're a part of this?
Man, I think the thing is that the vision is coming to pass, and then you guys have seen these kids since they were little, and you're like, hey, you know what? You need a house. We went into a house yesterday that is mud on the outside, and when you walk in, and it's just horrible conditions to live in, and we're just thinking that, we're looking at each other, going, man, how in the world can you live in these conditions when it rains? This house is going to fall down because it's just made of mud. And you guys said, we're to do something about this, and kids that you saw come in, and it's mind-blowing just to see how much vision that you've had, and it's just come to happen. Hearing the story of praying in an empty field and people coming out and salvation happening, and Leanna going, we got to do something about this. And now you got a school there, you're ministering to kids in the neighborhood, you're building houses for some of those kids, and they're incredible homes. They're beautiful homes, and it's not just, there's nothing halfway. It's all in, and it's just amazing what God is doing. Amazing what God is doing.
Well, it's amazing that you made it all the way out here and that you came all the way out here. And I'm very grateful that you came. Is it higher than what you thought? I mean, but look, everybody watches me every week and we tell them we do a lot of stuff. And I think that what a lot of people suspect is we say we do a lot more than what we actually do. Is that your experience?
Let me just say that you guys do a lot. And it's mind blowing to think about how in the world do you do all of this stuff. And man, it's by the grace of God, man, God's favor and what God is doing through the ministries that you guys have created and are who you partner with and all of these things. And you just figured out a way to make it work. And it's a lot. I mean, I would say you do more than you say you do. And it's just amazing what is happening and the lives that are being changed, the kids that are being saved, and not just physically, but spiritually, and just watching God do amazing things.
Well, thank you so much for coming, man. Call you blessed. Guys, you guys give Pastor Marty a great big hand clap. Okay, right on. Well, Leanna, are you going to come over here? Come on. Come over here to the hot seat. Yes, Leanna. Well, while Leanna's coming over here, so are you girls still back there at the Chick Fest in Crowley? Are y'all still there?
Yes.
We're here. We're just speechless.
Yeah.
Wish we were there.
Well, we wish you were here too. You know, this is where all the cool kids are.
Okay. Let's go,
Clearly.
Pauline. You ready?
There's no
Clearly.
doubt.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
we're
right
headed
on.
over.
Today we went and saw Leanna's newest legacy school, and it's not yet finished building because they've had so many building projects. But mind you, they get things done faster here than anybody in East Africa I've ever seen. They get things done faster here than we get things done in Texas. I mean, we literally have to take, dynamite to our contractors and in Texas and try and for one thing, there's several mysterious places. One is the Bermuda Triangle. Okay. Things disappear there. And the other is Texas, where contractors disappear when the job is halfway done. Okay. Here, man, things get all the way done. They get all the way done. And so we're working hard on getting it all the way done. But Leanna, it's so huge and it's so beautiful. Half the team hasn't seen it yet because they just arrived from the northern part. But it's so wow.
First, I want to say hi, ladies. It's good to see you. And Pastor Pauline, I'm representing you today.
I love it.
Yeah, it has been just, thank you. It's been a privilege being here. And my favorite is bringing new people that haven't been before, because you can only explain so much and you can only try to tell people, about these kids. But when you actually get to see these kids and touch these kids and feel their love and see how perfect and healthy and happy, and there's no explaining it on the other side of the camera, or even just talking to people. You can't explain it. And, being able to take people into the classrooms and seeing how our kids are being educated. We took Barrett in today to a 5th grade class. He's a 5th grader, and let him see, look, they share a desk. There's 3 kids at a table. That's their desk. And he just looked at me and I said, and this is their stuff. And he got to go into their rooms and see how they live. And he was just blown away at, 11 years old. He's like, this is just so different. But he was able to see Jesus in these kids that you just can't explain it. It is a true wonder, and it's a true privilege to be able to do this.
I think that we actually have a picture of me teaching in that classroom today. I think that we do. Yeah, I mean, we do. We took a picture. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys have that, bring it up, and Ben, you tell me, is it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. But it's through on your side, right? Yeah. Right on, brother. Just tell me when it's up. I believe you, man. So, hey, that's me teaching advanced algebra in school today. Yeah. Did I nail it? Did I nail it? So right on. But listen, again, man, guys, these are 5th graders. These are 5th graders, and they're advanced algebra. I mean, advanced. And it's like, honestly, there was a ton of stuff on the board that I did not know how to do. And that's our school. You don't know how to do it either, Peace. You grew up in a village the same as I did. So yeah, there I am right there explaining how high, and how my favorite is chocolate, which is great. Anyway, and what's funny is that's in the unfinished building, and then there's 3 other buildings there that are actually finished. So I know that some of you guys are here for the first time. Somebody want to come in and say something that you saw that was amazing? I can just give the microphone to you right where you're at. You want to talk, Sherry? Sherry, you always want to talk. I mean, I'm going to bring this around to you. It's okay. It's not. Tell us.
I just think it was amazing to see those kids in the school. They were just so full of joy, though, and happy, and they are so welcoming to us, and thankful that we're there. They're just so thankful, and it was just amazing to see them and to be able to just. They were so happy for us to pray over them and love on them and stuff, and just to see what's coming in the future, the completion of that school with our amazing tribe that supports what we're, the love for these kids that we have. So.
Sherry, just point towards me. So Sherry, I know that you are a donor and you're a giver, right? Are you happy, or are you disappointed, or are you blown away? Are you like, man, I wish that we would do more with the giving that
You're going to make me cry. I am so thankful that I give to Spark and to get to do the things I do. And now I see them firsthand is amazing. I fed babies today. I loved on them. There was every home I went in, they sung songs to us. They said memory verses. It's just so amazing. These kids are so happy. And just to know that they've been pulled out of muck and the mire, and that the Lord has touched them, and they're just so happy. And they are supported by an amazing team of mamas and nannies. And it's just very touching. There's no doubt in my mind where my money goes. No doubt in my mind. I see it firsthand. I touch it, and I love it.
Thank you. Love you, man. Call you blessed. Well, so Brian, man, you want to tell? So you're here for the first time, right on? You're here for the very first time, and you want to come over here and just stand right here, man? Sure. We'll put a camera on you, and I guess. Do what? No.
I like standing next to you.
That's why you say that every time.
It's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. You got this. It's wonderful. Oh, dude, listen, it's been mind-blowing. First time, went for the first trip to Mexico a few months ago, and this trip, walking up on those babies. My wife was just texting me, "Do they have some twins you could bring home?" Just the word that kept coming to me, this is a habitat for wholeness. It's a true habitat where, plants, they naturally grow in the right environment. Yeah. And this is an environment where the kingdom is. And seeing that firsthand, from babies all the way to these 11-year-olds in that classroom, they were so gracious. They were nodding as you taught them these complex equations. But just the staff and the people, there's no victims. There's just joy unspeakable. All the things the scriptures talk about when you are able to help the least of these, being able to walk with the great team that is here, and what you guys have already done and sowed, the locals here, and just the love. It's the culture of love, and love transforms. There's no fear. I don't feel any anxiety here. You guys have done an amazing job, and I'm just super grateful being able to see and be a part of it. It's awesome.
Yeah. Glad you're here, man. That's crazy cool. Well, guys, if you're just now joining us, man, we are in Kanjojo Village, just outside of Fort Portal, Uganda, and we are here at our Spark Baby Rescue Center and our schools and all of this. It's a part of Troy Brewer Ministries. It's a part of the Open Door Church family of ministries. And we've been engaged in this for almost 30 years. We've been here in Uganda for 28 years. And it actually started here It started here in Fort Portal, which is crazy, with Patrick, who was a teenager then, who was actually my very first translator. And I think he probably just made up his own sermon. I couldn't tell. I remember that big African dress you wore, that one-piece African dress. I was like, man, it was cool, man. You walked in a room, I went, wow, look at that. And there had just been a terrible earthquake here during that time when I was here. And a lot of the buildings that we were in preaching, the ceilings were gone and the walls were cracked and all this because this horrible earthquake had just happened. And so a 6.2, a mud house cannot stand up to a 6.2. And so everything collapsed, and it did. And I know that this region has become, the seismic activity in this region has become pretty serious. And again, you guys recently had a big earthquake. What was it? It was a 7. And our school buildings still stand. It was a 7. You guys had a 7 earthquake here. Wow. That will get your attention. Was that last week? When was that? It was like, oh my God! Listen, that gets your attention, man. I've been in some earthquakes, man. She was in an earthquake. Where are you at? Guatemala or something? Or she was in San Salvador. She thought that she was at the airport, and she's such a hillbilly. She had never been in an earthquake before, and she heard this noise and the rattling. You know, it makes all the walls rattle, and it makes a terrible noise. And she thought a 747 was crashing into the building, so she was running and screaming like her head was on fire. She has no class whatsoever. Everybody get up. Dude, yeah. Leanna's been with me in an earthquake before, and she knows how I act. So we've been in a couple of really good earthquakes, including there was a 5.2 in San Francisco on our 10th anniversary. So we're talking about this is 25 years ago. Can you believe that it was 20? Yeah, see, you need to be in my algebra class. You need to. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So but we were in downtown San Francisco. It was our 10th anniversary. And by the way, guys, we just had our 35th anniversary. Yes. And a daggum earthquake hit a 5 point something. And actually, I think it was a 6 point something. I don't remember what it was. That's 25 years ago. But I thought that building, so I always thought an earthquake kind of made buildings go like this, but it makes them go like this. And I didn't have any idea that. We were like, what the heck is going on? And I could hear something coming down the dadgum. Yeah. I could hear something coming down. And the only thing I could think was that it was somebody pushing a cart and the wheel was on it. Because I could hear this, I was like, what the heck? Who's making all that racket? And then dust started filling up everything. And I was like, why is it getting dusty? I mean, I was in the midst of a big earthquake and I was clueless the whole time. And then I was like, let's get the heck out of this building. Yeah, then it wasn't funny anymore. I was like, make it stop. So that's exactly right. Well, we were doing a huge work in Nepal right after the monster earthquake that happened in Nepal. We were there right after that, rescued a ton of kids in Nepal, but that just devastated the place. Well, we declare Psalms 91 on this entire property in the name of King Jesus. That's our declaration, and that's what we do. So, Connie, I know that you guys are still with us, and
yes,
Sister Rebecca and Pastor Pauline, and you guys are here. You guys have any questions about anything we saw or anything we've seen here so far? Or y'all have any questions that you think people would want to know? Or do y'all have any that people have actually typed in?
What's been your favorite thing that's happened on this new trip so far?
Getting to camp out with Leanna. You like that? Yeah, man. Yeah, right on, man. Right on. My favorite part, honestly, I love when new people see what we do because it's mind-boggling. It's one thing to try and perceive it on your end of things. It's another thing to actually see the result of it. And the thing that we talk about most often is the actual rescue of the kids, which is so important. I mean, how dramatic is it to climb down into a 50-foot hole that an entire village uses as a latrine and go down and dig a child up out of that mess? Okay, that's pretty daggum dramatic. But let me tell you where the rubber meets the road. Once you pull them out, you got to raise them. And you got to raise them, and you got to raise them every single day. And some of our kids, like our kids on the Amazon, many times do not leave our homes until they're in their mid-20s. And because we're putting them through college and they're doing all those things, and they still live in their forever homes there and also in Mexico. And so we have kids, we're in our second generation here now. And I mean, we have kids that we rescued when they were little bitty kids. And now one is about to be a heart surgeon in Kampala. And we have literal doctors and lawyers and nurses and all kinds of awesome things. So what's been your favorite thing so far?
Well, getting to hang out with Troy, of course. Yes, yes, of course. It's really neat because it's like coming home. It's like we have two families, and this is like coming to see our other family. So I really love coming. It's like getting to come home and visit the kids and grandkids, and yes, and just be around family because everybody is, and just seeing the progression there and seeing all the neat things and the new things and everybody growing up. And my favorite thing is always just being able to come back and see what God has done, because when you're living in it, you don't really see the progress and see where it's going, and being able to leave and come back and go, whoa, that was a lot of growth. That was a lot. And it gives you a hope for the future even more. You can actually dream even more because you can see God fulfilled that dream that you had. And then you go back and it causes you to work harder and say, okay, this is why I do what I do. It gives you a purpose, and I love that. So
I'm watching all these termites on the floor in here. Wonder, why is there so much concrete? You guys would not believe the termite mounds out here. How many of this first time you saw those termite mounds? That's the first time you've seen those. Well, there's something. They're impressive, aren't they? Man, we brag about fire ants. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know? Oh, you were digging in one? Yeah. Oh, listen, there's been 2 times that I've seen cobras outside. There's been 3 times in Uganda I've seen a cobra here, and one time was inside a house, and that'll get your attention. And the 2 other times were in those termite mounds. Listen, I mean, I'm living proof you can outrun one. I'm living proof you can outrun one. But I'm also going to tell you there are no Walmarts, and however much underwear you bring is however much underwear you bring. And that's how that goes.
Oh
So it's like, be advised. And I'm not giving up any of mine, just tell you that. But I digress.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Hey, my favorite story from the day, Pastor Darrell told me, and Pastor Darrell is in here, rock star Pastor Darrell, who has, if you ask him, hey, how many times have you been here? He'll go, I don't know. He doesn't count. He's just been living this life for so long and doing so many amazing things. You guys took a team up to the Luero district, to our amazing place that's up there. I don't even know. How far is Luero from here? Yeah, about an 8-hour drive. So what's that, 40 miles? Yeah. 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 Hell yeah. That's the way it always is. Yeah. But with that said, you're up there, and they went out and they were looking at a whole bunch of stuff that we've recently done. And there was a little girl that they came to, and they saw her house. She lives in a little mud hut. She's a beautiful little girl. How old is she, Daryl? She's 7 years old. And her daddy has left. She lives there with her mom. I think that we actually have a picture of this, Ben. Do you know what this one? It's Sonia. Yeah, so if you guys would put this up and just tell me when it is up. Sonia is her name. And I think it's the last one that Ben sent over there. And so Sonia is her name. And so Sonia, whenever they're talking with her, one of the things that they're looking at, okay, so it's up right now. That's beautiful, Sonia. They went way out in the village to find this little girl. She goes to our school, and just to see what's going on with her. And then one of the things that they found, there was a couple of different things. Number one, Daryl pointed this out. Said, do you know why their homes are made of mud? And they're like, no, why? Because it's free. That's the only reason anybody builds a house out of mud, is because it's free. And then once you understand that, it's like there've been times that Daryl and Leanna and Mindy and I, one girl really stands out in northern Uganda, way up by Murchison Falls, up towards Sudan, up by the border of Sudan. We came across one girl, and she was a refugee girl. She lived in a grass hut, and she had one possession in the entire earth, and it was this one wraparound. And she's a beautiful young girl. She's probably 20 years old, and she had 3 babies. And at night, she would undo her clothes, and that was what she laid her babies on. The only thing she owned on the planet Earth was her clothes, and she laid her babies on that at night. And her kids were completely naked. They had no clothes. They were so malnutrition. They were in a bad situation. And just exactly like that. And by the way, we changed that woman's life, I promise you. We changed that woman's life, and we changed those kids' life. And we had a relationship with her for years and years, and she has since moved on, which is what we always hoped for. But they came to this little girl, and then the first thing they said was, the reason they live in this is because that's all they have. They don't have anything else. And if you see a woman anywhere in the world, whether it's in Africa or Mexico or in the Amazon or Nepal, and their children are naked, they don't want their kids to be naked. Mm-hmm. They're not naked because they're savages. They're naked because they do not have any clothes to wear. Mm-hmm. And like I remember being a young man and us beginning to understand that and go, it's just as shameful for this mama, for her children to be naked as it would be for us, for our kids to be naked. And like, my God, you have to fix this like right now. And I mean, I think there's something that happens in America when you see pictures and you see these things, you think somehow, well, that's the culture. I was like, well, this ain't Cleveland. That's where Connie lives, by the way. So it's like, this ain't Cleveland, Texas, man. This is, and so they're out there, and then they see how poor she is. Daryl is already hearing from the Holy Spirit. And then we get to looking at this little girl, and this little girl has a completely gimped right arm. Mm-hmm. And it's like badly gimped. And that's like a prophetic marker for us, right? And then Daryl gets asking questions. Oh, well, she has a broken arm, so her arm's been shattered. And then they find out it's been a 7-year-old little girl, and she was on her way to go carry water, and she gets ran over or something, and her arm has been shattered. That little girl has gone to bed in pain every single night since September. And that poor mama has had to sit there and listen to her little girl cry. And not a thing in the world for her to be able to do for her baby girl, her 7-year-old child. Oh. And Daryl was like, okay. So that was this morning, I think it was. I guess, was it yesterday morning? Was it yesterday afternoon, but you took her to the hospital today. And so I just want to just stop here. I want to just say this. Guys, if you don't get anything else out of this, get this. Do not celebrate a photographer that takes a picture of a child with a fly in the eye and then walks away and doesn't change that child's life.
Wow.
That should not be called a hero. What a great photographer. That guy needs to have that camera taken away from him. And I'm going to stop. Anyway, what you do is you stop taking pictures and then you take the child to the hospital. Yeah. And why people in the world do not understand this, I do not get it. I honestly do not understand. Well, there was nothing we could do. Like I saw one of the most world famous pictures in the world is a picture of a child in Ethiopia who is about to die, and there's a vulture just feet away from that child, just sitting there. You guys know that world famous picture. And it's like, that cameraman needs to be shot. He should be called a murderer as far as I'm concerned. You're going to walk away and watch that play out like you're watching a lion and a water buffalo. That is a human child. And guys, this is why the body of Christ has got to step up, because I promise you, if the body of Jesus doesn't do this, nobody else does. So This little girl has been to the hospital. She's already had her x-rays. She's going to have surgery. We're going to get her little arm fixed. Can I put her picture up there one more time, guys? Would y'all mind putting that up there? And then I want you to also see this as well. This little girl, what's her name? Her name's Sonia. I want y'all to remember Sonia. She is, she's gorgeous, and to live in with another baby and then this 7-year-old, and they're just like, I think one of you guys that was with us just mentioned something like, oh my God, she needs a new house or something like that. Yeah. And so Daryl goes, done. So, hey, thank you guys that support Schwarber Ministries, because you just bought a little girl a new house today. Yeah, thank you. And you guys, y'all have seen the kind of houses we build, and we don't play. We don't play, man. We will not build a house that we would not put our grandchildren in. I will build a house to give it by these are all kingdom principles. So, Pastor Pauline, who else is over there? Rebecca. Yeah, right on. So you guys have another question for us?
Paul Molina asked, is God speaking a different word for Uganda than Texas and the stars? The firmament is different there, right?
Wow. Yeah, man, that's a great question. And the answer is no, it's the same sky. So it's okay. It's all right. Now, there is not any cliff here like there is at home. So that's different. Those kinds of signs are different. But I'll tell you something interesting. Last night we were on top of the roof of this building we're in right now, and I found the North Star, and it's like way low here. And so at home it's like there, and here it's like here, which means we are way farther south. It actually means we're on the equator. Once you get past the equator, the North Star goes down below the horizon. And so I'm like, wow, I was telling Ben, oh, North Star. So it's different in that sense as well. But what is God speaking from the heavens here? I honestly do not know. Outside of the things that belong to all the world, honestly, that's a great question. I know that April 8th is mostly converted. The eclipse is happening on April the 8th. Is for the United States of America. And so that's a great question, and you kind of stumped me on it. You guys have another one?
Cherie Morgan asked, what is the weirdest thing y'all have eaten so far?
Man, I want to just tell you that the trips that we do now here are with family that we've been with for 30 years, and they know what we like. And it's not like, it's not like when we go to India, and it's not like when we go to Nepal, and it's not like when we go to like the places in the Amazon, where they literally will feed you a worm that's about this big. Have any of y'all eaten the worm? Ben's eating the worm. Daryl's eating the worm. It's a big old yellow grub worm that's about that big around. And I mean, you have to chew on it for a long time. And that's the guys, I'm telling you right now, I would like to act like that we're suffering for Jesus, but man, we're eating like kings over here.
Amen.
Man, we are eating like kings.
Love that.
What the condor? Yeah.
I don't know.
What is that?
What is that?
It was now. Yeah. So, understand the message of oh, I think they're poisonous. Are they poisonous? Is there a doctor in the house? Because one just got right on top of Rooster. A big one. Did y'all hear he screamed like a little girl? Did y'all hear that? That was outstanding. Oh, that was awesome, man. Yeah, well, I remember old Brother Dixon used to say, these ones are venomous. That's what he'd say. They ain't venomous, are they? No. Okay. Yeah, they bite like it. Right on. Okay, listen, guys, we'll have time for one more question.
Reese Irish asked if you are going to be at Open Door on Palm Sunday. He plans on visiting, and he has his plane ticket and everything. Something about, I think he's talking about the prophecy that Joseph Z gave, that many will be coming to you with resources and help.
Well, Paul, I want to tell you, if you got money, go ahead and show up.
It's Reese.
Reese. Oh, I'm sorry, Reese. Well, so guys, we're going to do a very special video multimedia thing that's going to take place then. And I'm not really ready to announce it yet. But I will say that we are filming a big, huge part of it tomorrow. I will actually be coming from South Africa. When I leave here in Uganda, I'm going to South Africa, and I will be literally on an. But I will be preaching a message that Sunday, but it's going to be through this huge media event, and we have some awesome surprises for you. It's going to be great. So thanks so much, man. I'll definitely be there for the Easter service and then for the week after as well. So Pastor Pauline, do you have a question for me?
I do. I have a question for you and Pastor Leanna. This is obviously 30 years in. I want to ask you, when you guys first put your feet on the ground, did you see this in your mind's eye, or did you build this by faith, not knowing what it was going to turn out to be?
I'm going to let Leanna answer that first.
Well, I'm going to say we built it by faith because we did not have the vision for what is, and we don't have the vision for what's going to be. I know it's going to be even much greater, and I can't even comprehend what can be greater than this. Wow. So it is definitely a faith walk. But I did know from the beginning that this was going to be what God did, because he clearly told me this is what he was going to do. And so I did know it was going to be something great, but I couldn't have imagined graces.
Wow. That is awesome.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I had all this figured out 30 years ago.
I knew you did.
And yeah. Yeah, I'm such a great leader. Honestly, you know what we did? We did what we tell everybody else to do. Have a yes in your spirit and be faithful in it. And it qualifies you for another thing and another thing and another thing and another thing. And it's just that. The deal is we're the last two standing from 30 years ago.
Wow.
All the people that we began with have gone on to do other things, and we didn't. And that's it. And we really had no idea. The very first child that we rescued anywhere in the world was here, and his name was Colin, and it was in Fort Portal, the very first child. And then we rescued him, and the people that were hosting us, we took him to go eat, and this is what you do. If you're about to go eat, and if you come across a starving child, just pick him up and take him with you. Mm-hmm. That's all you got to do. And I really don't know why that doesn't occur to other people, but it always just made sense to us. And it was always weird, but that was with us. Mm-hmm. Because we're going to eat and because the kid is hungry. And it was just that simple. It really wasn't anything profound. And then, the people that we were with were actually at us. And we're like, you shouldn't take this child into this restaurant. He's an orphan. And these were people of God. These were leadership people. And we were like, if we have to choose between this orphan and you, bye. We just put our foot down and went, you guys go hang, and we're going to hang out with Colin. That's what we're going to do. So they kind of put up with it, but they didn't really appreciate it. And then we were like, well, we're actually canceling all of my preaching gigs now, and we're going to find a boarding school for this little boy. And how old was Colin? Yeah, so he was exactly Ben's age. And Ben, are you 32 now, man? You're 33. So he's a 33-year-old man somewhere today, and we got him in a boarding school. And then we came back about 6 months later to do another missions trip here. And then because you don't drop the ball, you go by and you go check on Colin. And we went by to go check on him. And they said, well, he's not doing good in his studies. And he's not doing good in this. And we're like, why? And we asked him and talked to him because he was very excited to be there whenever we set up for him to go to that boarding school. And he flat out told us, these people were terrible. Mm-hmm. And we're like, how are they terrible? And he told us, and we 100% believed him. And so we said, we're pulling him out, and we're putting him in another home, build a boarding school. And so we didn't know how to build a boarding school. We just knew that Colin needed a place. It was really just about one kid was all it was about, Pastor Pauline.
So awesome.
And then that turned into something else, which turned into something else, which turned into something else. And now here we all are.
I love that. Thank you for answering that. I've been thinking so much about
Rebecca, it's time for us to close. But Rebecca, honey, do you have a question for us? Is there something you want to ask Leanna and I?
I'm actually just speechless, and you guys are an encouragement for us that the whole world could see what you guys are doing. And now I get to see it, and I've been here for about 10 years. And it's such an encouraging when you have a yes in your spirit and you are obedient and just, you guys are doing it. So for me, it pushes me to continue to do what I have to do and have no, like, I'm just going to do it and have a yes. So thank you guys.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being faithful, and thank you for making good choices.
Yes.
Thank you for doing that. We're all better for it.
Yes, sir.
Well, guys, I think it's about time for us to wrap this thing up. And whenever we do get ready to wrap this up, I want to turn this over to Connie, and Connie's going to tell you about how you can support this ministry and all the different ways. In fact, if you guys would just go ahead and put that up on the screen, if you would, if you'll call this number, you can help us. And it's no joke. It's literally saving lives of kids and raising kids to where they are not a problem with the society or in the society. And I was talking to Patrick today, and he said, man, you know what? We're not raising orphans. We're raising leaders.
Man.
Man, great language. I will remember that for the rest of my life. I will steal that and never give you credit for it. Yeah. It's part of the Troy Brewer experience. He's like, I know how it is. But guys, continue to pray for us. Tomorrow is going to be a really big day, and then the next day is going to be a really big day. Guys, we're doing amazing things. Continue, please, to pray for us on our missions trip here to Uganda. And I think that's about it. How'd I do? Yeah? Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, well, ladies, I think we're going to turn this over to you, and we're going to sign off on this end. God bless you so much, my friends. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. Just want to close out letting y'all know how y'all can support us or partner with us if you're interested. As you saw, you know that what you will be partnering with and what you will be supporting is actually getting done. We do what we say we're going to do, and you can trust in that. You can call us at 877-413-0888. And that's also our call center, our prayer warriors are the ones who answer that phone, and they're the ones who will walk you through the process of partnering with us. Or if you want to call just to have prayer, that is perfect. Please call us. That's what we are here for. We love you, and that is a ministry that we've made available to you. If you would rather not call, you can email us at support@odx.tv, and that's support@odx.tv. And I know not everyone can see the lower thirds on the screen, but if you would like to mail in support, you can mail to give at Troy Brewer Ministries, P.O. Box 3775, Burleson, Texas 76097. That's Troy Brewer Ministries, P.O. Box 3775, Burleson, Texas 76097. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for joining us. I know that today's broadcast was a bit different. We didn't go behind the veil today, but we got more time with Pastor Troy and Pastor Leanna and what they're doing in Uganda. Please come back and join us again tomorrow, same places, all across social media and on YouTube. Please remember, if you haven't yet, follow us, subscribe, like our post, make sure that you share and you comment so that we can be media missionaries and get the word out to as many people as we can. And again, I just want to thank you so much, and thank you for y'all who already do partner with us, and especially our ODX members. We love y'all so very much, and we'll see y'all again tomorrow. Bye, y'all.